Hey guys, DJ Ravine here, and I'm here with Point Blank Music School and good friend here, Curbi.
How you doing, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
Beautiful.
Sweet. What are we going to be looking at today?
We're going to be looking at my track Whip It, which came out in Dim-Mak not long ago, maybe like a month ago or something, a couple of months ago. Very bass house kind of track, and hard, very hard.
Nice, that's what I like. And obviously we're using FL Studio right now. We will be teaching FL Studio as a weekend course at Point Blank soon enough. But yeah, let's get into the project.
Cool.
So with this track, how did you actually get started? Did you have like an idea when you started this track, or did you just roll for the punches?
Well, it was actually this vocal. I came up with the vocal idea, and it is this one right here. So this is me just speaking into my mic, well, screaming into my mic.
Do you use your actual mic, or you like Throttle and he just uses his iPhone?
I used to use my iPhone all the time, but then I got my new microphone, the Rode. Yeah, it's a little bit pitched down actually. Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah, that sounds like you.
Yeah. So I recorded that vocal, put these effects on it. A lot of OTT. My good friend Soundgardizer.
Of course. Really? Soundgardizer?
Yeah.
But you don't even know what it does.
No, I know.
You just turn it up.
Well, it's a multi-band compressor, I believe. It just makes it so much more fat, like really vibrant. You take that off. Oh wait, I put two Soundgardigers on.
Oh my god.
Oh,
it's like a meme.
It is a meme, but it works, man. Okay, you hear that, yeah?
Yeah.
It's okay. And we add these Soundgardigers. Bingo, it's in your face, it's punchy, it's hard.
Yeah. It's the original sausage fattener.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so basically, I started out with this vocal. What I tend to do for my tracks is I try to make this nice little phrase before the drop. I know you can get a lot of these phrases online, like on Splice and stuff, and I used to do that. But I find that it's way more interesting if you do it by yourself. Just record anything by yourself, even if it's a drop or something, you know? Yeah, I find that way more interesting. So I started out with that vocal, and then pretty much, yeah, I worked into it from there.
So do you make the drop first, or how do you?
It always depends. With this one, I literally start with the vocal and then started working into the drop. Sometimes I'll work on a build-up first. I find that really helps actually if you work from a build-up into a drop. But starting a track, yeah, it always depends. Maybe I'll work on a break first. But like I say, working on vocal ideas and phrases really sets the tone for a project and kind of like the theme or something.
So what did you work on first here? Did you build up or did you work on the drop? You had the vocal idea.
Yeah. And then I went straight into the drop. Now for the drop, I always get kind of like stuck. It always depends. Maybe I'll try and make some synths. Maybe I'll start off with the drums. But the thing is, with like 128 music, house music, I kind of feel like you're quite limited to the drums. Like you can't really do stuff like some funky stuff with the kick or something. You know, it needs to be 4 to the floor.
It kind of stops becoming house. When you kind of change it up too much, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, like I say, sometimes I'll start off with synths and bass lines or a melody. For this one, I literally started out with, well, actually I didn't start out with this synth, I had loads of different synths here.
That's a lot of instances of Massive and Silent.
Massive is my go-to plugin. It's the bomb. So yeah, I started out with this sound here. Well, after working on a lot of different sounds and trying to find the right sound. Came with this one. Let me take all the effects off it. So yeah, just a basic, weird harmonic sound. Put all the effects on it. Just super gritty once again. OTT. Standard Soundgardizer. Quite a bit of unnecessary EQing. Yeah. So I have this sound here. And what I find is when I'm making a drop, I tend to have like the main harmonic lead / synth. Then I'll have like the bass line, which isn't the sub, just the bass line. So you really feel the like low mids, and then I'll have the sub. So this right here is plainly the sub. Let me take sidechain off. Okay, let me. So this is just basic sub right here from Massive. It's not even a sine wave. It's actually.
With this bass line, did you make it yourself? Do you make all your leads most of the time?
The majority of the time. Sometimes I'll start out with a preset and then tweak it to my desire. But with this one, I'm pretty sure, this is the new Curbi sub 32.
You ever release the pack?
No.
Well, you can't
Maybe
have
one
it.
day. Maybe one day, guys. So yeah, I have the sub there, pretty basic. And then, like I was talking about earlier, this is the kind of bass line sound. Or I put the under bass, but it doesn't really make any sense. So that's just a basic square lead. And then put the effects back on. So combine that with the sub. And let's put the sidechain back on. So you have those two there. And then with the main lead over the top. If you remove the bass line and just have the sub and the main lead, I don't think, it doesn't feel like in your face, it doesn't feel full. It feels like, I look at it this way, you have a sub and then like your top lead, the harmonic lead, you have these two, but then you're missing something in the middle and it's just, there's something missing there. So yeah, that's why I always add that. So yeah, so on the drop, pretty much have this rolling throughout and then I've just pitched it. I've pitched the synth, the bass line and the main lead.
So what's that little, like that bass pluck that you have going there? Is that just...
This one here?
Yeah.
This is from the bass line. It's just a little flicky thing at the end. Just this bit here. I just feel like it adds the groove, you know?
It does, it does. It also lets you know that, that's this section done, we're going to go for it again.
Yeah. So then I have just basic, like I was talking about earlier, saying that you're quite limited with house music sometimes. Literally just have a kick right here. Just two kicks combined. This is the discharge kick. I combined it with another kick to make it a little bit more fat. And then a clap.
It's got a little bit of that sucking sound on the clap as well.
Yeah. And then an extra clap from Vengeance. That whippy sound.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And then you just combine that all together. Simple.
I think you're underselling that main part. I think is the pitch automation here.
Yeah. That is the melody.
That is the melody.
If you look at it that way. Yeah. So this is how I started the track. I started the track with the vocal, and then I went on to the drop.
You said this track has 3 drops.
Yes. Yeah.
So did you just kind of go like, all right, I'm gonna make these drops and see which one I like? And you're like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna use all of them.
See, like that's the way I look at it every time I make a track. But I always like to have variation in my tracks. If I hear the same thing over and over again, it gets really boring. And then I get bored and then I'll just delete the idea. So I make as many ideas as I can. And even though everyone says, try to keep a track simple, that's the best thing about a track, just to keep it simple and minimal. But I go overboard with ideas and just keep making a lot of variations, which isn't good, but it is at the same time. And in this track, I feel like it did work. I have the main drop, which is very simple. The next drop, which I'll show you in a minute, which is adding most of the elements like the vocal and stuff and more leads onto the second. And then the third's kind of like the finale drop, which just has everything in it.
So before we go into the next drop, what about the build-up then?
The build-up literally just consists of the vocal. So you just have the vocal right here, and then you pitch down. Pitch it down. So it's just pitched down all the way like that. And you've got this snare roll, which keeps the tension rolling.
It's on triplets or something, right?
Yeah. It was really boring just having it flat, so you know, triplets is nice.
I know a lot of my friends that make house music, another way they like to make their snare rolls is you use the frequency shifter or something like that and kind of pitch it up as it goes.
Yeah. Well, so this is literally just with the standard pitch.
Okay.
Channel thing there. So it's just pitching throughout. Keep rolling. So I had that right there, and then just go straight into the build up, full energy. I didn't really want to keep it rolling any longer because of that snare build already.
I did notice there was like a bass in there, like a riser.
Yeah, it's just monotone though, it's just flat. Can you guess what's on this effects section?
Sound Goodizer, OTT.
Indeed. Right there. And I also have this plugin here. I don't know if many people know about it. It's called Gorgon, however you say it. Just a distortion plugin. It's pretty crazy. You can make some sick sounds with that.
Yeah, it looks nice. It looks quite simple as well.
It is. It is simple. I like this option here as well because you have the main distortion settings, and then you also have this like bit crush, which is dope. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't.
So did you automate this riser as well to go up, or?
Well, this is monotone right here, just flat. There's no pitch going on. Like kind of a dark vibe, which I liked. And then, so there's that bass finishes right there, and then we actually go into the build up properly, and then I bring in a new bass sound. Is this one right here. Take that off. And then this one's pitching. That pitches throughout. I've also sidechained it to the kick so you get that thumpy effect. They do that a lot in dubstep and trap, and I really like that, and I think it fits like well with house music, with the more aggressive house music, bass house and stuff like that. So yeah, we have the vocal here, coming from here. Claps, some effects, the snare, got this white noise effect. And then into the vocal. And then there you go. Now the vocal comes back in, the whip effect. And then it's my recorded bitch right there.
That's amazing what you can do with a microphone.
It really is. Yeah.
With this part here, I have noticed it does sound like it's been pitched down or something.
Yeah. So right here, you just have the standard. I can't remember. So I'm not very good with music theory, and I'm very bad at explaining.
Did you ever have any music training, or?
No.
You play an instrument?
I used to play drums when I was younger. This is why my music's all so aggressive and loud. I mean, I have these keyboards over there, but I don't really use them.
Yeah, but they're still nice when you're like kind of just playing out and trying to figure out
what... If I'm stuck with something, I'll just go over some notes and try and find something. So yeah, we have that, and then I do take it down here, so it goes from an E to a C sharp, but still with the same pitch automation. And I really like that because you get that low sub, like a lot of trap music has a super low sub, like in the key of C sharp and C and stuff like that. So the sub really hits nicely in a club here.
Which is really interesting because I know for a lot of people that produce sub-heavy music, or even like house music, you generally want to keep it within like, I don't know, like G.
Yeah, like F, F sharp, G, really good. But I like the low sub, like the really low sub on a good sound system.
No AirPods.
Exactly. But you just get this whole different feeling, which I really like. So I kept that. And so now we have a switch right here. I didn't want to say switch. I didn't want to copy Moxie's style, so I just said bitch instead.
Curbi switch it.
So it was the same pattern. I did have it going the same, just with a different sound. So that would have gone in the same pitch automation and been the same as the first part of the drop. But I just literally cut up the pattern here in the playlist.
Right, so not even with MIDI?
Yeah. I just cut it up because I wanted more of a groove in there.
I have noticed, actually, you're not working too much in MIDI or with pattern sequences and stuff like that. It's all audio?
Most of it is, yeah. So we still got that pitch automation.
You've added 2 little kicks here as well.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. I like to, with house drums and 4 to the floor music, I really want to keep it interesting and add a lot more elements to keep it exciting.
So my question here is, are you doing something like side chaining that, or taking out the low end?
What, this kick?
These 2 secondary kicks there, because you're gonna have that interfering with your bass line.
Yeah. I didn't actually take the low end out here. But what I did do is use this stereo delay, and that messes with the low end anyway. And I didn't feel like there was much to take out there, and I wanted that thump. I didn't want it to be like, if I really take out the low end now, I feel like you just lose a lot. It's not the same. And so I've put this stereo delay on it to make everything way more wider, because everything, you know, is central right now. Once again, gone down here, same as in this part. And then this is the second break. So I wanted to kind of keep the same vibe as it had in the first break, like that dark theme vibe. So I have this bass line, this bass sound here, and with the vocal as well. And then goes back into the second build. Just with the vocal. This extra sound here.
Sounds like a laser.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? There's a phaser on it, I believe. Yeah, it's literally just, well, this is a sine, this is square.
Yep.
Square wave right here. And I've modulated it. FM. LFO on the modulation right there. So you get this, yeah, that weird trippy sound like that. Super strange. Put the phaser on it, reverb. And then I've pitched that up. I've also automated, I can't even remember what I did here, but I did automate. Oh yeah, phaser, of course. The race of the phaser. Yeah.
Nice.
So once again, my own vocal. And what I did here is I just put loads of distortion on it. This crush plugin is really cool as well. Let me show you now.
1, 2, 3, go!
So it sounds awful like that.
1, 2, 3.
Put all the effects on.
1, 2, 3, go!
Crazy.
It's really aggressive.
Yeah. So this is distortion crush plugin right here, bit crushing thing.
1, 2, 3, go! 1, 2, 3.
It really like squashes it down. And so I thought that was a good fit right here, because this build-up is very minimal.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go!
Then it hits the
It's actually nice because I actually noticed when you didn't have any effects on it, it was actually quite a lot of low end on it.
Yeah,
Put crush on it and all those effects.
Yeah.
You kind of take out the low end and it gives that little breathing room.
Yeah, and that's it. Like with the build, there's not much happening in the low end either. Like, up here. It's all very high. I didn't want to, I didn't want to have something go back down there. I wanted to keep it in the same level, the same tone.
Did you have a phaser on the first part of this build-up? There was like this bass thing here. Where is that?
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
So this is from a plugin called GMS.
Never heard of that before. What is that?
Do you know what? I don't even know. I just found it in FL.
Huh.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's the Groove Machine synthesizer module.
It's built into FL?
I believe so.
Huh.
I've literally seen no one use this plugin
I've never
before.
seen this before in my life. I actually can't really even... I mean, that looks kind of like a synth there, but I have no idea what all this stuff... Oh, that's
These are all the
flanger.
effects right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got flanger going on, distortion, and reverb. And what you can do here, I don't really want to mess this about, but I will actually.
Oh, it's just the XY.
Yeah. So it's really cool. And I did automate something here. Yeah, there's the flanger right there. And back up again. So yeah.
Flanger really makes it, actually. It makes it sound so cool.
Yeah, if you take that away, it's very flat. So that makes it like more wavy, I guess.
I think that's a thing a lot of beginners don't really understand, is that you really want tracks to have movement and not be too static.
100%, yeah.
It really keeps it interesting.
The way I like kind of figured that out is because when I first started making music, I was making really generic like dance music, like 2012, just shit music to be honest. And every time I'd start making sounds, I'd be messing with so many different parameters in these synths and so many different knobs, you know, it would start to sound really weird and there'd be so much movement. And I never knew how to automate at this point and anything about automations, and then I realized you can automate, so then I can keep changing the sound within the project. And that's, you know, like that helped me a lot when I first started making music. Just keep messing with these different sounds and automating and keep the movement in the sounds. That's very necessary, in my opinion.
Even if you're just using a preset, for example, just automate an effect or two.
100%.
And it can make it sound completely different.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with using presets. I've heard so many people talk about this and debate about this, but just use any preset you like. Ideally, just try and change it slightly. Just mess with the sound, and it's not a problem.
Yeah, to me, the whole point of presets is like, it's a sound. It's probably 95% of the way there.
Yeah.
You just need to change that slightly, make it slightly unique,
Yeah.
and then you've got...
And like mess it with the way you want to mess it, not how you picture anyone else messing with it. Just do your own thing with it, because at the end of the day, it's your music, so you decide how it sounds and how you want it to sound.
Let's take a look at that second drop.
So basically, this drop right here is pretty similar to the first drop. I've just taken out the note on the one, the every other one. So you get the offbeat. You get that offbeat vibe. And what I've done right here as well is I've added another sound. Yeah, this one here. It's just that top sound, you know, and even more sharper sound than the original.
Metallic, staticky kind of sound.
Yeah. So the thing which makes this drop like super full and keep the groove going is the vocal. Like that's super empty, but then as soon as you add this vocal in there, so I got this whip here as well, higher. Gone down again. So it's fairly similar, just stop using the white noise there, it's too much. So like you can put some white noise in your tracks, but what I've learned is just don't use too much. This is too much. If I could go back and change it now, I'd just remove all these white noise effects right here. There's CO2 in a club for a reason. Why add it? But I still do because I like it.
I remember back in the day, all big room tracks. It's like big room, drop happens, guaranteed white noise sound.
Yeah, like super prominent, loud white noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very pleasant for the ear. But,
No.
this loop right here, hat and clap loop. I made this from my track when I was working on ADHD with Hustled More. This was actually the loop, so I've just exported this and put this in here. Just EQ out the lows there. Adding even more groove, and there's also a clap in there to make it even fatter. Okay, so here we go. Now moving on to the third build. I always get confused. This is the third build, not the second build.
That is insane that there's so many drops in this track.
Yeah, I know, right?
How long is this track?
It's not even that long, I don't think.
3 minutes?
Yeah, 3 minutes, 33 seconds. So we have the third build here.
Yeah, third build, that's it.
Which is pretty much the same build-up. I've just literally copied and pasted it as the first build-up. I just removed the bass line and kept it empty. I kept it empty, but I added this new bass line here. This really groovy sound. I really like that groove right there. That's without effects.
How'd you come up with that then?
This sound here?
Yeah, no, as in like this kind of groove. Like how do you, when you're writing stuff like this, you just kind of go, all right, I want to make a groove, and you're like, damn, Curbi power now.
No, so yeah, what I had was I copied the drop over here because I wasn't planning on making this 3 drops, but I copied that over here to try and make something a bit more fun, a bit more danceable, exciting, less in your face, but yeah, still more groovy. And so before I put this groove into the build up here, I was working on that drop. This is the drop. So I was looking for a better bass line rather than dun 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 throughout the whole thing. So then I just went into here. I made this little groove here. Fairly basic sound, to be honest. Like, if you use massive a lot, you will know this sound. This is a very massive-y sound. I don't like it, to be honest, because I've heard it so many times.
Yeah, it's no modern talking.
No. So I had that bass line. So I started this drop with that bass line, and then I decided to take the whip vocal, put it onto this drop, but add it and put it more with the groove to, yeah, make it sick, basically. So I had those elements. Let's just cut out these. That's what I had, but then I was like, do you know what? This is becoming more techie now, so I want to add some rides or something.
Get a bit more tech housey?
Tech housey, to get it more tech housey, exactly. So right here. I've literally just sidechained it right here. So there's even a bloody sound goodizer on the ride. It doesn't matter, man. If it sounds good, it sounds good.
It sounds good. I gotta admit, it sounds good. I mean, it works, obviously.
Yeah, it's just
How many streams has this got?
just over 1 million now.
Yeah, so over 1 million people listen to Sound Goodizer. Sound Goodizer.
Hey, that's true. Shout out Sound Goodizer.
Shout out to the inventor of Sound Goodizer.
Hell yeah, what a legend. So yeah, so we have these rides. That's not good. Put that on there. Really adds the groove. So have that keep rolling. And then pitching it up. Oh, here it is. Okay, so right over here, so this little switch right here, bassline just starts automating in pitch, and I also automated, I think it was the reverb. Yeah, the dry wet of the reverb. So it kind of ends like that, very abrupt. So yeah, I basically took that bass line, working on this drop, I took the bass line, put it onto the third build, because I wanted to introduce that element earlier, so it'd be recognizable for when you hear it on the drop.
When I started producing, I found one of my biggest difficulties was actually getting the two parts of the song to glue together.
That's it, very difficult. The easiest way to fix that problem is by putting it earlier into the song so it becomes familiar to your ear, so you've heard it already, so it's nothing very new. But with saying that, what I do like a lot is not introducing any of those elements earlier in the song and then suddenly it just hits you when it drops, so then it's really a new sound. But with a song like this, it just seemed to fit nicely. So because you know the whole track, there's just one groove throughout the whole thing. It's just da na 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 throughout the whole thing, and to drop it into something with a crazy groove like that, I felt like it was necessary to add that the bass line into the build so it becomes familiar. So then it's nothing crazy new.
Especially because it's so far into the end of the track.
Exactly.
Maybe it was like the first drop, for example.
Yeah.
It'd be a big enough shock for
Yeah,
it
exactly,
to
yeah,
work.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I can see why you would do that in this case.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically it.
What was your biggest problem when you started making tracks? Like, what was like your biggest challenge, you reckon, before you could start making tracks and go, yeah, you know what, I can release this?
Do you know what the biggest problem was?
What?
It was the fact that I thought everything that I was making was good, but in all honesty, it was shit, right? I mean, that's a good thing, to be honest, to think that your music is good, because then you have like no blocks, there's nothing stopping you. You're just constantly making music, whereas now I'm like very cautious about my ideas. I'm like, oh, is that good?
You're so right, because when you think everything's good, you have that motivation also to keep going.
Yeah.
Whereas when you know that when you get better at making music, it's so funny, so ironic. When you get better at making music, you start realizing how bad you actually are at making music. Exactly. And then you start second guessing yourself. You're like, oh, you know what? I don't like that idea. So you start a new one.
This is what I have all the time now. Like sometimes I can come up with an idea straight away. Sometimes I'll be working on an idea. I'll be like, mate, this is awful. What are you doing? I thought, like, come on, it's dreadful. So like the creative process is abnormal. It's difficult, and I don't think you'll ever like crack the creative process unless you're a genius.
Or Eric Prydz.
Or you're a beginner.
Yeah.
Because you think everything is good.
Yeah.
But then when you get a little bit more advanced, you start doubting yourself. So really it's just a mind game, to be honest. If you think that it's good and you say to yourself it's good and you just keep rolling with the idea, then I guess it's okay. But I have this problem all the time, to be honest. I think the majority of producers have it.
What about when it comes to starting and finishing tracks? If you start, how many tracks you reckon you start, and then how many you reckon you finish? Do you push yourself to finish them as well? Because I think this is a great thing for beginners. Like what you're saying, it kind of tacks on to the thing about thinking that you're good, and you're making more tracks because you think they're good. Another thing is, I tend to abandon tracks because I think they're not that good. I want to start a new one.
Yeah.
But I think,
is that because you overplay it?
Because not so much that, but I think it's just as you know what, you might be right, because you make like an 8-bar loop or something like that, and you just keep
listening to it over and over again.
Yeah,
keep working on it, and it's after a while your music's so adapted to that sound that it just wants to hear something new.
I think
I have
also
a problem a lot.
Yeah, of course. I think most people do, especially because everyone nowadays is using Ableton,
Yeah.
FL
Yeah.
Studio. It's all loop-based music.
Yeah.
But I think for beginners, a great thing for beginners to do is actually just force yourself to finish the track.
Definitely. I still need to force myself now. Like, I'll have an idea. It's funny, I'll have an idea and I think, oh, this is sick. This would be a really good track. And I'll say to myself, I'm going to finish this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it within the next day or two and it'll be finished. But this is the problem. Like, my problem personally is I'll be working on something, it'll be good, tell myself that I'll finish it, but I'll just keep listening to it over and over again. I get so caught up in listening to the idea that I've made and kind of like appreciating it that I just don't execute the final idea. I'm just listening to it over and over again, maybe adding a few things, but I forget to actually finish it and then I get bored of it. So my advice is just, when you have a good idea, just keep rolling with it. Don't stop. Just finish the track immediately because then you're not going to get bored of it. And then it's bingo, really.
And then you can stop worrying about it and you can
Then
be
you stop worrying
happy
about it.
that you
Exactly.
just finished your track.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know about you, okay? Do you procrastinate a lot?
Yeah.
Do I
I've got ADD.
Do you actually
So-
have it? Is
Yeah,
that why
yeah.
you have the track with ADHD?
Well, I have more ADD than ADHD. I have a little bit of ADHD, but yeah, I do, yeah.
So whenever I procrastinate, I always you always regret it at the end.
100%.
Right? Yeah, you're always like, oh, why did I do that?
Mate.
Why didn't I just make the track? And
Exactly.
But the thing that blows my mind the most is that when you finish making the track, you're just so happy. You're just like, oh man, I'm so glad I did it.
It's the best feeling in the world when you finish a track that you like and it gets good responses. It's the best feeling in the world. I don't think anything can beat it, to be honest.
It's so good when you create like art
Yeah.
or that content,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh, it's done,
And it's
then
finally finished.
Yeah, it's finished,
Yeah.
and people love it.
Yeah.
And then you know what I get afterwards? I get this kind of regret. It's just like, dude, I could have finished just like a month ago.
Exactly, yeah,
But
yeah.
I've just been lazy.
No, this is the thing as well. So being an artist is pretty difficult sometimes because you've got to keep up with your release schedule. So I can't really afford to not finish stuff. I need to finish stuff. Even though quality is way better than quantity, you still need the music out there. Otherwise, you'll be going downhill, to be honest. So yeah, like I can't really afford to not finish stuff. As soon as I have an idea that I like, which takes quite a while to find a good idea, then I just got to finish it straight away.
Well, what do you reckon from start to finish? How long, for example, do you reckon this took?
This one, I can have a look at.
Oh yeah, FL Studio has like a timer.
Does Ableton not have this?
I don't think so. Does Logic have it? Does Logic have a timer
No idea.
that tells you how many hours you spent on a project?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's a FL exclusive because I only know.
Shout out FL Studio.
I remember.
have a look.
I remember listening to. Oh, here you go.
41 hours and 1 minute. I think 1 hour is actually from going in this project right now and showing you, because it is the time you've spent actually doing stuff in the project, not had it open for.
Oh, so if you idle, it's not going to add time.
No.
Oh, really? Wow.
I believe so.
41 hours.
Yeah, 41 hours. But
40 hours.
A new one that I've been working on right now is 85 hours, and
Wow.
I can't work on it anymore because I'm just I can't listen to it anymore. I hate it.
I remember. The reason I know about this is because I was listening to Porter Robinson's. I was listening to Porter Robinson's World's commentary, and he was commentating about all the tracks and the idea, how he came up with it.
Yeah.
And he came on to Years of War, amazing track. And then he's saying, oh, this is the longest one. In FL Studio, you can check how long it's taken you to make a project.
Amazing.
How many hours do you reckon?
Yeah. Short or long?
Long.
Oh shit. What, hours?
Hours.
120? More? Nah, come on, really?
300 hours.
300 hours?
Imagine
How many
what-
days is that?
That's about 12 days. 12 solid days.
So that is 12 days.
12 days on the computer
Yeah.
working on this one track.
Wow. That's mad.
Yeah.
I think my most is probably just reached 100 hours. And that's too much. 300 hours.
300 hours.
What
I'm
a
going mental.
dedicated legend.
I know. He deserves all the success he
Yeah,
has.
for
man.
real,
That guy's
man.
amazing. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
But there you go. Shout out FL Studio for that feature. Ableton, step up your game. Logic, step up your game.
You can't say that.
No, I'm
here.
joking. I've got Ableton down here, mate. There you go. Bingo.
All right. Thank you very much, Curbi. Thank you for showing us this track.
it, man. Thank
Whip
you.
it. And where can they find this track?
You can find this on Spotify. Pretty sure it's on Beatport as well. Pretty much all streaming platforms. So go over there. If you like the track, let me know in the comments. Sorry for my bad explanations, but I hope you kind of learned something new today.
And follow him on Instagram.
Curbi, just Curbi, C-U-R-B-I.
Lucky. Very, very good
Very
Instagram
lucky.
handle.
Yeah, I know, right?
Anyways, guys, thank you guys for tuning into this video with Point Blank Music School. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and of course, we have a FL Studio weekend class coming up soon. Find out all those details down there, and you can learn to be just as good as this guy, maybe.
I'm not saying anything.
All right, guys, see you guys next time.
Yeah.